Did you know that Google shares success stories where they celebrate publishers? They say publishers from all over are building, thriving, ad-supported businesses that create opportunities for everyone. But the September helpful content update, it hit a lot of sites. Then in March of 2024, the core and spam updates also hit some of these sites, these specific stories. So I want you to leave a comment. I want you to let me know if you think Google is incompetent or are they just lying to us and they really don't know what they want. Of course, this is not mutually exclusive. They might be incompetent and also lying. And we're going to go through some specific websites. Now, not all of them are hit, of course, but many of them are. The fact is pretty clear here that the ad team that publishes these success stories is not talking to the spam team. Or if they are, I got to say, the conversations are not very clear. And that's why we end up with these success stories losing their traffic. So do me a favor and leave a comment on what you think. I'm going to run through a handful of these sites. Of course, I didn't look through all of them. I just kind of spot checked. So some of them actually got more traffic. And I'll put links so you can go check out these success stories for yourself. And I'm going to use SEMrush to review the estimated traffic. It's just an estimate, okay? I know it's not the exact traffic, of course, but you could sign up for SEMrush and get a few-day trial. I'm an affiliate, so I would get a commission if you pay for it or something like that. And by the way, I'm using the free version here. So whatever I'm displaying, I'm not a paying customer currently for SEMrush. So let's check out a handful of these stories. And just as a quick note, this is the About section. So Google for publishers, and they are really trying to showcase like, hey, let's celebrate your story on Google for publishers. All right. It feels disingenuous. So again, I arbitrarily just kind of random picked some of these and click through. So number one, the baby sleep site. So we have the founder listed and they have a little story for each one. So we're not going to go through and read it, but let's take a look at the website. Looks pretty good. They are sleep experts and consultants for 15 plus years. So it sounds like they know their stuff, right? They're doing what they're supposed to. Let's have a quick look over here, babysleepsite.com. Again, this is the SEMrush view, but you could see the 2-year view. That's what we're going to use for each of these. We come around and we see there's a bit of a drop in March or April of 2023, and then a little bit more of a drop. And you can see it's just a small fraction of the traffic that they were getting just 2 years ago. Next, Roasty Coffee. I've heard of this site. Roasty Coffee is owned by Jake Kane out of Cincinnati. But the thing is, Roasty Coffee was created by my good friend, Matt Giovanisi. He's even listed here. Matt didn't know this site was covered, but I was like, Matt, did you know that Roasty Coffee was featured over on Google as a success story? He didn't know. I was like, Matt, your name is mentioned there. So Jake bought this site from Matt in 2018. From what I could tell, it looks like Jake grew the site a lot. It's pretty badass. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening here. He was featured on Business Insider, BuzzFeed, Fast Company. Today, we have Wired, we have Yahoo. It's a good site, right? This is bananas. So check out where we are here. The estimated organic traffic in May of 2022 was 376,000. There were a couple little ups and downs. And then we see roughly in the helpful content update, fall 2023, pretty massive drop over the course of 1 month. We're in April of 2024. It looks like there's hardly any traffic. So this is what I would imagine a devastating amount of revenue lost. Next, Charleston Craft, and this is Sean McBride out of Charleston. Looks like a pretty good site. Woodworker, he's obviously using some tools. They're painting stuff. They're doing stuff, right? They're experiencing and sharing their knowledge, right? Let's check this out. Unfortunately, this is another one. It looks like the estimated traffic was about 100K in 2022 in the summer. We have just drops throughout. We have the helpful content update is kind of a more massive drop right there. And then, of course, we have these core updates, this stuff in March. Again, these are success stories that Google is telling us, hey, these guys and gals are doing a great job. They're doing what they're supposed to, yet we see this massive loss of traffic. The other thing I didn't mention earlier, I mean, Google handed out a bunch of manual penalties, right? They literally were saying, hey, we cannot detect this through the algorithm. We don't know how to do this through the algorithm. So we need to go through and cherry pick and penalize these sites manually. Now, I don't know what happened with any of these sites. All I did was exactly what I'm showing you right here. Next up, Iowa Girl Eats. Kristen Porter looks like a nice lady here. And recipe site, another kind of site that, potentially got hit hard. I don't even remember if this one went up or down, but let's see what SEMrush tells us. Okay, great. So Iowa Girl Eats, she actually was trucking along pretty consistently for a little while. And then right around the summer of 2023, she started doing better. And she actually benefited big time from these couple updates. So again, I just kind of randomly picked them. I put them in just random order. I didn't know how this was going to turn out. So Iowa Girl Eats, she's doing something great. I don't know what she's doing, but I would say you could have a look at her site. She benefited both from the helpful content update and from the March update. And it looks like, her traffic went up by 40% roughly from this year. And that's amazing. Pretty amazing. She's getting about, is that 3 million? 3 million per month. So her site is doing amazing. Next up, I should check to see if she will do an interview with me. All right, next up we have Backyard Assistant. This is Kelly Skelton, Badlani, and Scott Pancake out of Austin. And their site, again, they're building stuff, they're doing things, looks pretty legit. And we see actually a lot of growth out of 2022 up to 2023. And then unfortunately, a huge drop off in 2023. Of course, here we're looking at the top organic estimated traffic of about 12,000. So the scope of what we're looking at from Backyard Assistant to Iowa Girl Eats over here is, much different. She had a pretty huge amount of traffic, 400K per month for a long time. And then it exploded, it roughly, what is that, like 8x or so. So we have this Backyard Assist has dropped massively. It looks like they're virtually getting no traffic these days. Again, featured as a success story. Bruise Passport. So we have Dr. Savvy Moonjal and Mr. Vinditanage. I'm sorry, I obviously mispronounced the names. They have an awesome travel blog. Looks pretty amazing. They're doing, looks like custom video. They're doing a lot of drone shots. Again, they're doing exactly what we should be doing. So Lonely Planet, BBC, TEDx, Outlook Traveler, Nat Geo, TLC, all the big hitters, right? So let's see how they're doing. All right, pretty good. So this is another one that turned out pretty well. I would venture to guess that because of the big video component, I bet they have a lot of social traffic. I bet they have a lot of YouTube traffic as well. But they were trucking along, looks like about 13, 14,000 estimated visitors per month. Little bit of a dip in 2023, but then it looks like the helpful content update helped. And then these latest updates in March have helped as well. So we're wrapping up, coming up towards the end here. So back to my southern roots. This is Julie Pollitt out of Clearwater, Florida. It looks like another food type blog here. Pretty standard food blog, a lot of different kind of recipes here. And let's see how she has done. So this is another one where we've taken a hit. It looks like through 2022, things were going okay. 2023, things started to dip a little bit. Not a super massive through the helpful content update in the fall of 2023, but it was just kind of a steady decline. And then of course, the March update actually hit the traffic. It looks like it halved it from where it was. And then if you look at the height, it looks like we're only getting maybe like 15% of the traffic as before. So this is just a quick random rundown for this Celebrate Your Story, these featured stories over on Google. Again, it's pretty clear that the spam team, the algorithm team is not talking to the ad team, the people that are featuring these stories. There's definitely a discrepancy here. So again, do me a favor, please. This will help out the video. Let me know what you think. if you've been impacted, if you've seen more traffic, right? Some sites are getting more traffic. So are you getting more traffic? Are you getting less traffic? What do you think of these success stories and the fact that sometimes on Twitter, we hear certain things that maybe even from the Google liaison as well, we hear certain stories and we're like, this doesn't match up with what I see. And I didn't do a huge amount of research. All I did was pop these open. So I'll put the link so you could check it out too. Because this is just a little bit crazy if you ask me. So if you want to see more of this stuff, leave a comment. Let me know if you have questions. We'll catch you on the next one.